Hey everyone, how are you doing? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy almost New Year. Whatever your holiday is, I really hope that it was the best one yet. And if it wasn't, that's cool because next year will be. I have so much confidence in that. I am having the most fun in this mastermind I've got going right now. And I was just talking to a woman about something that is so important, and I don't feel like I've talked about it enough on here. So I want to really have a conversation with you that's so important. So if you are going to create a business, and I'm just going to let you know, I just gave Ghost a toy, so you can hear her in the background squeaking. I'm so sorry, we're just going to deal. There's no way taking away from her now. So if you're going to have a business that is a soul-based business, if you want to have a spiritual business, if you want to have a personal development business where you're a coach, where you're a healer, where you're doing something where you're literally wearing your heart on your sleeve, this is going to require you to think and operate in business differently than the traditional business structure and the traditional business strategies. And this even comes down to how you create your offer. I find so many women, and I know this, I feel this pain because I did this for so long. For the first year of my business, I was like, because so many people were telling me how they did business and how they did that. And you have to do this, and this. And I was like, but that doesn't feel good to me. That feels very boxy. I'm a manifesting generator. Like the second that you try and contain me, I'm like, and I can't operate. I can't be my most expansive self. And a lot of times in business, women are so excited to bring their magic online. They're like, oh my God, I want to help people. I have these awesome gifts, or this is what I want to do. I love this industry so much. I'm so excited about this. And then they fizzle away all of their magic, all of their excitement, all of the passion, because they start listening to people that are telling them to build their business in a way that doesn't honor them. So one thing that I want to make sure that you hear me say loud and clear is if you want to build a soul-based business, you need to have a soul-based strategy. So what that means is, you've heard me say a million times over, any strategy will work and any strategy can fail. It's not the strategy, it's the mindset, the energy, and the actions behind the strategy. This is what makes it or breaks it, as I call it, the invisible pieces. These are the invisible pieces that on the outside looking in, you're like, I don't know, I don't see a difference. But the internal world is what's changing it all. So when you have a strategy that you're really lit up by, when you are operating your business in a way that feels so good and so authentic to you, one, you want to talk about it more because you're excited, you're passionate, you've got energy, which means one, you're going to channel that energy back into it or into creating content to talk about that. Or it's going to be filtered back into your business some way. But you're going to have this magnetic energy that draws people in because you're so lit up by what you're doing. We get so caught up with, but should it be a 3-month program or should it be a 12-month program? I don't know where to host it. And blah, blah, blah. Should it be live? Blah, blah. That doesn't matter. What feels good to you? What feels the best way for you to do it? In all honesty, if you were just to check in with your human design authority and what feels best for you, and you moved and you got your head out of the way, that's when you would start having so much fun in your business. When we start getting super heady about business and feeling like we have to strategize our way through it, that's when we lose momentum. And momentum is what is going to keep you plugged into your business. Because here's the thing that not enough people talk about. It isn't it shouldn't be expected that when you go into business, you're going to have a 10K month your first month. Shouldn't be expected you're going to have exceeded 100K within the first 3 months of your business. I get that we are playing by energetic rules, and I get that we live in an unlimited universe, but we have to talk about realistic. There are so many women going into business with unrealistic expectations. And being unrealistic is good, but not if your nervous system isn't regulated to be unrealistic. You have to work it up and you have to show up. You have to create an offer. You have to speak about it. You have to build an audience. You have to build a community. You have to have a place for people to go to be able to hang out with you, to learn from you, connect with you. There are so many things that are required in your business, but what isn't required is you to do it in a way that doesn't light you up. How many people online do you follow that have businesses right now that you're like, oh my fucking God, I love what she's doing? They probably are not doing business the same. Like when it comes to their launch schedule, when it comes to the programs that they create, when it comes to their mindset, when it comes to their energy, it's not going to be uniform. So why are we trying to box ourselves in while building businesses? Because the magic is going to come from you staying connected to your excitement, to your passion, to your energy, to you showing up in a way that lights you up. Not because some coach told you to do it this way. Here's the thing, is we have to be able to balance coaching with our intuition and our authority. Are we just following everything that somebody told us to do because they told us to do it? Or are we checking in with our energy, with how we want to do it, with what feels good to us before we make the moves? It's really important to get help and to have someone that understands business. But if you're not checking back in with how you want to do it, you will not make it through the moments when your business isn't successful yet, when you don't have a booked out wait list for clients yet, when you don't have people signing up for your programs every single time you launch yet. This will all come. But if you don't set yourself up for success in building your business and staying consistently tapped into why you're building your business in the first place, yes, financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, but I'm telling you, if you're here and you're in my world, there is something under your skin, in your heart, that is like this burning desire that you have to bring to the world. Like you're like, no, I am here to do this. And you feel it in your bones. When you feel something so powerfully, you can't logic your way through it. You have to use some strategy, but you have to allow the magic of your magnetism to be the majority of your strategy. People don't want to hear that. And I'm not talking about bypassing in and being inconsistent because you don't feel like it, but I'm talking about being connected and balancing the masculine and the feminine in your business so that you have a structure and a strategy that supports you so that your magic and your feminine creativity and flow has a container to flow in. That way you're not flowing out or not making moves or you're so rigid that you're honestly not magnetic. This is the balance and the duality that you really need to be able to hold as a business owner who is creating a soul-based business. It isn't so much about, oh, let me make sure I've got a 3-month container and there needs to be 4 modules and each module needs to have 4 little mini topics and I need to have 10 journaling prompts at the end of every single one, and it needs to have a website, a podcast, a Facebook group, and I think that's it. That's not how businesses work, and that's how so many women are trying to run their business, and that's why they are so burnt out. The thing is, if you don't keep yourself plugged into the magic of what you're creating and what you're here to bring to life, the real world is going to knock you down. When you look at your bank account, when you look at the amount of engagement you have on your social media post, when you look at things in the outside world, they're going to keep taking you out of your power unless you've worked on soul sourcing your power and you start working with a coach who's going to help you build a structure and build a strategy that works for you. Because the way I do business isn't the way that you're going to want to do business. Just purely from a human design standpoint, I'm a manifesting generator. I'm going to do business completely differently than a reflector is going to do business. And that's just based on our energy, let alone every other nuance in our chart. So I want you to remember this. When you start feeling like, ugh, I have to do this thing in my business, connect back to the vision, connect back to your magic, bring your passion and your excitement back into it. And this is why the women that you see sitting on their computer 15 hours a day trying to make their business work don't seem to get much traction. But the women that work on their business every single day and go out and they play and they live their lives and they don't take it so seriously, these are the ones that are more magnetic, because they're not trying to stop living their life to just create this thing online. They're allowing themselves to build this business every single day, and then allowing themselves to unplug so that way they can really allow their magic to flow. And I see so many women taking themselves out when they're newer in business, or when they haven't yet reached their income goals, or even that, completely deciding to not do their business anymore and going back to a 9-to-5 because they're listening to and following a strategy that doesn't light them up, or it doesn't feel good to them. I'm not saying the strategy is always going to feel amazing, but you have to do it in a way that feels good to you. For me, when I came into the coaching world, everyone was like, you need to use Facebook groups, and that's where you need to host programs. And I could literally do an 8-hour-long podcast video bitch fest about how the fuck we even got here and how absolutely illegitimate and honestly complete bullshit. Any business coach that tells you that your business should be run through Facebook doesn't know what a business is, because you would never have a storefront that wasn't owned by you and selling products. You wouldn't always be selling in a consignment shop. That's not how you make money. Never mind the legality of it all. These women, nothing would hold up in court, because that's what they're selling. They're selling Facebook groups. That's not going to hold up in court. So minus all of that, I fucking hate Facebook. I've always hated Facebook. This is before I went to business school and before my business ethics class, and chapter 8 of my textbook was completely dedicated to Facebook, because Facebook has committed so many injustices since the beginning of the corporation and since the beginning of its time, which is why they had to rebrand and change their name, that I would never try and start a business and have people that I care about go to Facebook. I didn't have a Facebook for 10 years myself, because I found it to be such a dangerous platform, and still swear by that. And now that they own Instagram, we're all fucked, right? So antitrust laws, who cares? Anyway, so my thing is I was never gonna do that. So if there's a part of business that you're like, no, if you really don't want to live stream, then don't listen to a coach that's telling you have to live stream every day. If you really don't want to have a podcast, then don't listen to a coach that's telling you have to have a podcast. If you don't want to have 10 freebie offers, then don't work with a coach or listen to a coach that's telling you have to have a bunch of freebies. If you don't want to teach live programs, then don't learn from a coach that teaches live programs. These are the things. You have to have discernment over what kind of business owner you want to be, and what kind of offers you want to create, and how you want your customer experience to be. If someone is telling you to do something in a way that completely dishonors how you want to do it, you have to know that that's wrong for you. No one else can be the one that says that, though. You have to be the one, even if it's your coach that you're paying. If you're working with a good coach, they're going to work with you. And when you say, I don't want to do it like that, good. They're going to help you create and cultivate a way that you do want to do it in. And I find that so many people are confusing, because let's be honest, most people that are coaches never went to business school and don't understand business. People are confusing business coaches for business consultants. A business consultant is going to tell you what to do X, Y, and Z. You don't have any input. This is for the best interest of you to get the results that you're looking for. You're working with a business coach. A business coach that's not what they do. A coach is actually supposed to be asking you a bunch of questions and not telling you what to do all of the time. A coach should actually be reflecting back to you, so the answers come from your subconscious mind and your intuition. So many women never went through a coaching certification, never went to business school, and these are the women that are acting as business consultants and putting business coach in their title, and that's fucking up the people that are coming into this world. So let's be very, very clear. A business coach is going to work with you, and as someone who wants to have a business and wants to have a soul sourced business, you have to allow it to be soul sourced. You have to have structure so that way you can show up and do the things and have it in place, but it's got to be in a way that honors you. So that way it feels good for you to do it. Because again, your subconscious mind, it has to see the things that need to be done or that you want to do in your business. It has to see them as something it wants to do, because if it doesn't want to do it, then it's going to keep preventing you from doing it. And so many people just don't fully understand the depth of business, of your subconscious, of spirituality, of your intuition, of human design. And that's why I fucking love me, because I'm a manifesting generator who loves learning, who knows so goddamn much about business, about energetics, about mindset, about all of these things. I've gone to business school. I've been a business expert for the fucking government. I've taken coaching certifications. I continue to learn. I wasn't just somebody who hired a coach that started a Facebook group and then started making money online and then started like just telling her little mini me's to do it like me. And that's not what that coach is saying, but that's what all of her clients are mirroring, and none of her clients get it. So anyway, the coaching world is shifting, and we need to understand what business coaches are. You need to understand how you can utilize business coaching the best. And you also need to understand how you as a business owner are going to best build a business that works for you. Because when you build a business that honors who you are at the beginning, you don't get to that phase 2 years in where you're like, I fucking hated the way I do business. I made money, I was successful, but then 2 years in, I burned it all down because I hated it. You hear so many coaches talking about them wanting to burn down their business, and it's because of that, because they built it in a way that someone told them to build it, but that someone wasn't their human design authority and it wasn't their intuition. So I want you to think about that the next time you hear someone tell you how you should be running your business. Is it the way that you want to be or not? Because it's up to you to make that discernment. It's up to you, if you're working with a coach that's telling you how to do something one way, to say, that's not how I want to do it. So what are other suggestions? Like, take your power back. Okay, I'm just coming on here quickly because I'm getting a bunch of masterminds and I have to be in class because you know me, I'm always learning and I love it. All right, I love you guys so much. Continue to have the most amazing holiday season. And if you have any questions for me, if you want to get into my world, if you are ready to change your life so that way you are the most magnetic, happiest, abundant version of yourself, and then you have a fucking awesome business where you make money, like that's the magic. It's all about, in my world, we focus on you, and then like we create an awesome business because you're awesome and your business gets to be awesome and you get to make money and everything gets to be awesome. Like, that's the vibe. It's fucking awesome. All right, I love you. Bye.